The Big Brother season finale is imminent, but the winner isn't set in stone yet. Big Brother Season 27 has been a whirlwind of dramatic fights and controversial twists, but the chaotic cast has been dwindled down to its final 3 players: Morgan Pope, Ashley Hollis, and Vince Panaro. The final head of household competition, however, could decide everything. From the divisive BB blockbuster to the White Locust elimination, the evictions of Big Brother 27 have been unlike any prior season, forcing gameplay to adapt and strategies to change at a moment's notice. Some players rode the wave of unpredictability well and seized power, but an impressive game resume means nothing if you're not sitting in the final 2 chairs. The so-called cheatmance of Big Brother 27, Morgan and Vince, have been closely aligned for most of the game. Their loyalty goes far beyond the average alliance, making them a probable final 2 if either wins the last HOH. Though Vince is seemingly devoted to her, taking Morgan to the end would be Vince's biggest mistake of the summer. As multiple house guests have pointed out, Morgan seemed to run Vince's late-game HOH reigns, stealing any valor he may have earned through big moves. Furthermore, Morgan was the driving force behind getting Vince's former allies out of the house, making her the obvious winner. Out of the jury, the only vote Vince could possibly get would be Lauren. Admittedly, Morgan's game in Big Brother 27 has been dominant since the jury phase started. With 2 HOHs and 5 veto wins under her belt, Morgan has the longest immunity streak in Big Brother history, beating Ian Terry's impressive record from Season 14. Nonetheless, her win against Ashley wouldn't be a landslide. Ashley has been forced to play under the radar for weeks, but her social game never slept. Even in the final days of the game, Ashley is cleverly manipulating the cheatments into thinking they should both take her to the end. If she can articulate her strategy in a final speech, the votes would likely split, with Morgan narrowly beating her. If Ashley and Vince are the final 2, the jury could be swayed by the smallest differences. Ashley could argue she only won a single competition because that was the only time she was in real danger of going home. Vince could argue that he was intentionally using emotional manipulation and not simply doing Morgan's bidding. Additionally, whether Vince owns his cutthroat game of backstabbing and betrayal could cost him the win. Ashley has shown incredible self-awareness and accurate reads of the house, meaning she'll probably be able to tailor her final speech to convince the jury more successfully than Vince. However, Big Brother 27 Final 3 houseguest Ashley Hollis has come up with a finale night plan that proves that she deserves to win the $750,000 prize over Morgan Pope and Vince Panaro. Ashley, a 25-year-old attorney originally from Chicago, Illinois, but currently living in New York City, isn't known for her competition wins, but she made it to the final 3 because of her superb social game. Ashley had a rocky start to Big Brother 27 during week 1 when she angered some of her fellow houseguests when she took a long shower in Vince's head of household bathroom before he had the chance to use it. Although he'd said it was okay, some of the other houseguests thought that she took advantage of him. Showergate nearly cost Ashley her game when Vince nominated her for eviction because she was the house target, even though he'd previously promised her safety. However, Ashley was able to save herself with the power of veto, and she completely turned her game around. She wasn't nominated again until week 8. She also became a member of the Judges Alliance, along with Morgan, Vince, Rachel Riley, and Will Williams, and they dominated the game. Although Morgan and Vince have a stronger competition resume than Ashley, her finale night plan proves why she should win Big Brother 27. The final Big Brother 27 HOH competition parts 1 and 2 have already been played, with Morgan winning part 1 and Ashley winning part 2. Considering that Ashley hasn't won a competition since week 1, it seemed a given that Vince would emerge victorious, but she was able to beat him, and will now face off against Morgan during part 3 live on finale night. When the live feeds returned after part 2 of the HOH competition, Ashley was seen dancing in the kitchen. She looked at the camera and announced her shocking plan to eliminate Morgan if she wins part 3, and to take Vince with her to the final 2 chairs. She definitely has a better chance of winning against Vince than Morgan, but cutting Morgan would be a very bold move for her. Ashley has been playing the role of a ditz all season, even hiding the fact that she's a lawyer from her fellow houseguests. However, this plan proves that she's smart, clever, and thoughtful. She knows that Vince has burned every member of the jury including Rachel, Will, Kelly Jorgensen, Lauren Doming, and Keanu Soto. If Ashley eliminates Morgan, it's likely that Morgan could be Vince's only vote after Ashley makes her case against him. If Ashley does make it to the final 2 chairs, she'll be very prepared because she's been practicing her finale night speech for the jury. On Friday night, Ashley was alone in the hot tub talking to the cameras, rehearsing her speech. She stated that she thought that she could win if she focused on her social game in her speech. She then mentioned how the key was to lower one's threat level throughout the whole game. Ashley said that she turned her enemies into allies. In Ashley's practice speech, she asked if Big Brother is just about winning competitions because Season 2, winner Drive Will Kirby and Season 19 winner Josh Martinez weren't competition beasts. She noted that Morgan had to win competitions to prevent herself from going home and questioned if that was a strong social game. While Morgan and Vince both have many competition wins on their Big Brother 27 resumes, Ashley's right that they're not the most important thing. Morgan won 2 HOH and 5 Power of Veto competitions, while Vince won 4 HOH and 1 BB Blockbuster competitions. Ashley, on the other hand, only won 1 Power of Veto competition. However, the house guests were very upset with the White Locust twist, when Rachel was eliminated rather than evicted from the game due to losing a competition. They lamented the fact that she didn't have the chance to campaign for herself, which indicated that they knew how important the social aspect of the game was as well. Although Vince won more competitions than Ashley, his social game was terrible. He lied to everyone, went back on his word, and then played the victim. Ashley played a much cleaner game, which the jury might respect more. This wouldn't mean that the jury was bitter, but rather that Ashley played a much better social game than Vince. If Ashley wins Part 3 of the HOH competition and becomes the final HOH and follows through with her plan to eliminate Morgan and go head-to-head with Vince, then she deserves to win the $750,000 grand prize. She began the game as an underdog, but she worked her way through it with her social skills. Ashley was well-liked by her fellow house guests, which is very important in a game like Big Brother. It'll be much harder for her to beat Morgan than Vince if she changes her mind and chooses Morgan or if Morgan takes her to the final 2, but she definitely has a compelling argument for winning against her too. It would be epic if Ashley won Big Brother 27. However, after the eviction of Ava Pearl, the remaining 3 Big Brother contestants competed in Part 1 of the final head of household competition: Ashley Hollis, Morgan Pope, and Vince Panaro. We can now reveal that Morgan won the challenge, so she will advance directly to Part 3, which will play out on live television during Sunday's season finale. Scroll to the bottom of this post to see who won Part 2. Shortly after Morgan prevailed, she was spotted on the live feeds trying to comfort a pouting Vince, who was spiraling in the kitchen after losing yet another challenge to his ride or die. Altogether now, poor Vinny. When Vince complained that he hasn't won a single head of household when it actually mattered, Morgan calmly replied, "We are still in the middle of the HOH comp, by the way. It's 3 parts. You did not lose the competition." The hard-boiled detective from BB Comics said that Part 2 of the final HOH will be a crapshoot for him, implying that Ashley, aka Shower Power, will prevail. He added, "It feels very out of my control, because it won't be a physical competition." "You don't know Vince," Morgan fired back. "Everything is out of our control. Are you kidding me? All you do is win," Vince stated emphatically. "You beat me in everything. You don't know how you keep winning? That must be a nice feeling, 'cause I don't know what that's like." Morgan rolled her eyes and told him, "Vince, you've won 4 HOHs. 4 of them. That is insane. And guess what? You won them in different aspects: physical, mental, endurance, strategy." For the record, Vince won the most head of household competitions in Season 27 at 4. Morgan is right behind him with 2 HOH wins, not counting her victory in Part 1 of the 3-part final comp. In terms of Power of Veto challenges, Morgan won a leading 5, while Vince never claimed a single one. Part 2 of the final HOH comp took place on Friday afternoon, and Ashley eked out a victory over Vince. Vince's intuition was right. That means Morgan and Ashley will face off in Part 3, which will air live on CBS during Sunday's finale. Following Ashley's victory, Vince sulked in bed, while Ashley did a happy dance in the kitchen. If Morgan ends up winning the last competition of the season, She has promised Vince that she'll take him to the final two. And if Ashley prevails, she has revealed in the diary room that she'll take Vince with her, since Morgan would be tougher to beat. Game on! Find out who wins the $750,000 grand prize when the season finale of BB27 airs September 28 on CBS. Also that night, host Julie Chun Moonves will reveal who was named America's favorite house guest, which comes with its own $50,000 check. Ava Pearl's Big Brother 27 philosophy can amount to one Rhett Butler paraphrase: "Frankly, I don't give a damn." Whether aura painting or aura farming, Ava's social game was immediately palpable in the house, making her one of the most well-liked people throughout the entire season. But she made sure to prove she wasn't spending the summer just coasting on vibes. For example, she was a key vote to help flip Vince Panaro and Zach Cornell to not force a tie, instead turning on their allies to evict Adrian Rocha. And Ava repaid them in kind when she became Ho only a couple of weeks later. Her straightforward approach to the game manifested in her nominations, as she nominated the two of them alongside Keanu Soto, and even called out Vince for all of the alliances he had made so far. It was a major turning point in a season chock full of them. As one of the frontrunners to take it all was taken out, Ava then spent the rest of the pre-jury shoring up some tight relationships with people like Rachel Riley, Clifton Will Williams, Lauren Domingue and Kelly Jorgensen, and things were looking at bright at the yellow flower that adorned her hats.